Hey everyone, Professor Baldwin here, and today we're asked to find the exact solutions to this quadratic equation, and we get to use the method of our choice. At first you might think that we should complete the square because the constant's already alone on the right-hand side. I would say yes, except this leading coefficient isn't 1. So we're going to have to divide everything by 2, and we're going to end up with some fractions. So instead, let's add 8 to both sides, and we're going to use the quadratic. So adding 8 to both sides puts us into standard form, which is 2x squared plus x plus 8 equals 0. Then we can identify the values for a, b, and c. A is 2, b is 1, and c is 8. Since we know those, we're going to substitute them into our quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2 times a. Substituting in, we get negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared minus 4 times 2 times 8 divided by 2 times 2. Now we just need to slowly simplify. Negative 1 plus or minus, and our radicand is 1 minus 64. And our denominator simplifies to 4. Now let's simplify that radicand even further, and we get negative 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 63. And that's all over 4. Now we can rewrite that negative 63. It's the same as negative 1 times 9 times 7. The reason we do that, the square root of negative 1 is I, and 9 is a perfect square, so the square root of 9 is 3. And then we're just left with a radicand of 7. So let's do that. We have negative 1 plus or minus. We take the square root of negative 1 and we get I. We take the square root of 9 and we get 3. And the 3 goes before that I. And then we're left with the square root of 7. And this is all over 4. Now remember, we need to rewrite this as a plus bi. So the real number component is separate from the imaginary. Remember, the easiest way to do this is to separate it into the two fractions where that plus or minus separates them. So your first numerator is negative 1, and your second numerator is 3i square root of 7. And then since it's all divided by 4, each denominator is 4. And there you have the final answer in a plus bi format.